There is one moment with a woman that most men never forget, even though they don't fully understand it. It is not a conversation, not a message, not something she ever explains. It is a simple hug that somehow stays in your mind long after it ends. Most men think a hug means nothing, just kindness, just politeness, just habit. But if that were true, you wouldn't replay it in your head late at night. You wouldn't feel confused, hopeful, or strangely affected by something that was supposed to be simple. That confusion is not an accident. A woman does not hug without feeling something. Even when she says nothing, even when she smiles and walks away, her body has already spoken. And what her body says is often more honest than her words will ever be. In that one short moment, her body answers questions she never asks out loud. Do I trust him? Do I feel safe? Do I want to be closer? Or do I need to protect myself? She does not think these thoughts. Her body reacts before her mind can stop it. This is why some hugs feel warm and calm, while others feel tense or rushed. This is why some hugs stay with you for years. And this is why men who don't understand this moment often misunderstand the woman completely. In this video, I will explain what a woman's hug really means, why her body communicates before her words, and how that one moment of closeness can quietly reveal how she truly feels about you. Part 1. Why women communicate through touch. To understand a woman's hug, you first need to understand one important truth. Women experience emotions in their bodies before they explain them with words. While men often try to think through their feelings, women tend to feel first and think later. From a young age, many women learn to control what they say. They learn to smile, to be polite, to hide confusion, and to avoid saying things that might create conflict. But even when words are controlled, the body still reacts honestly. Touch is one of the fastest ways the human nervous system communicates. It happens before logic, before overthinking, and before fear steps in. That is why a hug can say more in 2 seconds than a long conversation ever could. When a woman hugs you, her body is reacting to how you make her feel emotionally. She is not performing or acting. She is responding. Her muscles either relax or tighten. Her breathing either slows down or becomes shallow. Her body either moves closer or keeps distance. All of this happens naturally. This is why women often struggle to explain their feelings with words. It is not because they are confused or dishonest. It is because their emotions are still forming, and their bodies express those emotions before their minds fully understand them. A hug becomes a moment where her inner emotional world briefly shows itself. There is no time to pretend, no time to edit, no time to choose the right words. Her body simply responds to the emotional safety, comfort, or tension she feels with you. That is why a hug can feel warm, calm, and grounding. And that is also why it can feel stiff, rushed, or distant. The hug reflects her emotional state in that exact moment. Most men never learn this, so they focus only on what was said before or after the hug, but the real message was already delivered through touch. Part 2. Different types of hugs and what they really mean. Not all hugs feel the same, and that is because not all feelings are the same. A woman's hug changes based on what she feels, what she fears, and how safe she feels with you in that moment. Most men notice the hug, but they do not notice the difference between hugs. The first type is the soft and relaxed hug. This is when her body naturally leans in, her shoulders drop, and everything feels calm. There is no tension, no rush. This kind of hug means comfort. It means her nervous system feels safe with you. She is not thinking, she is just there. This is not about attraction or romance only. It is about emotional ease. The second type is the true quick or rushed hug. Her arms come around you, but her body pulls back almost immediately. This does not always mean rejection. Very often, it means emotional protection. She feels something, but she is not ready to sit inside that feeling, so her body reacts quickly before the moment goes too deep. The third type is the stiff hug. Her arms are around you, but her body feels tense. Her shoulders stay tight and there is little movement. This hug usually means uncertainty. She is not sure how she feels yet, or she is unsure about you. Her body has not decided if it should relax or stay guarded. Then there is a lingering hug, the one most men never forget. This hug lasts just a little longer than normal. Not long enough to be obvious, but long enough to feel different. This is emotional conflict in physical form. She wants closeness, but she is also afraid of what that closeness might lead to. Her body stays while her mind hesitates. Another important type is the tight hug, followed by a quick release. Many men misunderstand this one. This hug often comes from strong feeling mixed with fear. She feels something real, but she is not ready to show it fully. The tight hold is honest. The quick release is self-control. There is also the distant hug, where her arms are around you, but her body stays angled away. Her hips do not come close. Her chest stays back. This hug means emotional distance. She may care, but she is setting a boundary. Her body is saying, this is close enough. And finally, there is the natural, effortless hug. No hesitation, no tension. It just happens. Her body moves in without thought. This is emotional alignment. Her nervous system trusts you. She feels safe enough to be fully present, even if she never talks about it. The most important thing to understand is this. A woman rarely hugs you the same way twice. As her feelings change, her hug changes. And those small changes tell a much bigger story than most words ever could. Part 3. How a woman reads a man. During a hug. Most men believe they are the ones trying to understand the woman during a hug, but in reality, something very different is happening. While you are feeling the hug, she is also reading you, not with her mind, but with her body. A woman can sense a man's emotional state in seconds. She feels it through your arms, your chest, your breathing, and your stillness. She notices if your body feels calm or tense, if your grip is steady or unsure, if you rush the moment or hold on too tightly. This is not a conscious test. She is not judging you on purpose. Her nervous system is simply asking one question. Do I feel safe here? And your body answers before your words ever do. If your body feels tense, anxious, or restless, she feels it immediately. Her own body responds by staying alert. She may keep distance, shorten the hug, or pull away slightly. This is not rejection. It is protection. If your body feels grounded and calm, her nervous system relaxes. Her breathing slows. Her shoulders drop. She may stay a little longer without realizing why. Safety creates softness, and softness creates connection. Many men make the mistake of overthinking the hug. They focus on their own emotions instead of being present. That inner noise shows up in the body. When a man is needy, uncertain, or seeking validation, a woman feels it as pressure. Even if he says nothing, his body speaks loudly. Confidence, on the other hand, feels quiet. It feels steady. A calm man does not try to take anything from the moment. He simply holds space. And that space allows a woman to relax into the hug instead of guarding herself. This is why the same woman may hug two men in completely different ways. The difference is not her mood. The difference is how each man's emotional energy feels to her body. A hug becomes a mirror. She reflects back what she feels from you. If you are present, she becomes present. If you are tense, she becomes cautious. If you are calm, she feels safe. Most men never realize this. They think attraction happens through words, actions, or effort. But in moments like this, attraction happens through emotional stability, through stillness, through presence. And that is why a hug is never just about how she holds you. It is also about how you hold yourself. Part 4. The hug that means emotional attachment. There is one type of hug that changes everything, even though most men do not realize it at the time. This is not the loud hug, not the dramatic hug, and not the obvious one. It is the hug that feels different in a quiet way. This is the hug where she does not rush. Her body stays close. Her arms feel steady, not loose, not tense. There is a small pause before she lets go, as if she needs one more second to prepare herself to step back into distance. This hug comes from emotional attachment. When a woman becomes emotionally attached, her body reacts before her mind fully accepts it. She may still be unsure. She may still have doubts. She may not be ready to say anything out loud. But her body already knows that you matter to her. In this type of hug, she is not trying to impress you. She is not testing you. She is grounding herself. Her body is saying, "This feels safe. This feels familiar. This feels important." Often this is the hug that stays in a man's memory, not because it was intense, but because it felt real. There was warmth, calm, and a sense of connection that did not need words. Sometimes this hug comes with emotional conflict. She holds you tightly, then lets go faster than expected. That quick release does not mean the feeling is weak. It means the feeling is strong, and she is trying to control it. This is also why some women avoid long hugs even when they care deeply. Emotional attachment makes a woman feel vulnerable, and vulnerability can be scary when she is not sure where things are going. A woman rarely becomes emotionally attached all at once. It grows quietly, and when it does, the first place it shows is not in words, but in moments like this. This hug is not about the present moment only. It is about how she feels when she imagines you not being there. Her body reacts to the idea of closeness and to the fear of losing it. If you ever felt a hug that seemed to say more than she was ready to admit, it was likely this one. Emotional attachment revealing itself before permission was given. And once this hug appears, the relationship is already changing, whether either of you talks about it or not. Part 5. The hug that means she is pulling away. Not every meaningful hug is a sign of closeness. Some hugs are quiet signals that something is changing, and this is the part most men misunderstand the most. When a woman starts pulling away emotionally, her hug is often the first thing that changes. She may still smile. She may still talk normally. She may even say everything is fine, but her body begins to create distance. This hug feels lighter than before. Her arms are there, but the pressure is missing. Her body does not fully lean in. There is less warmth, less pause, less presence. It feels polite instead of personal. This does not always mean she has stopped caring. Often it means she still cares, but she is protecting herself from disappointment. Something inside her feels unsure, unsettled, or tired. Sometimes the hug feels emotionally heavy instead of warm. Her arms wrap around you, but her body feels distant, almost distracted. This is the hug of a woman who is conflicted. She is still attached, but something is weighing on her. Another clear sign is when the hug becomes shorter over time. Not suddenly, but slowly. Each hug ends a little faster than the last one. This is not random. It is her nervous system slowly creating space. Many men make the mistake of reacting with fear. They overthink, become anxious, or try to force closeness. But pressure only makes her pull back more. When a woman is pulling away, she is not asking for intensity. She is asking for emotional safety. This hug is not a test. It is a boundary forming quietly. And here is the hard truth. By the time a woman pulls away with her body, she has already been thinking about it internally for a long time. The hug is simply the first place where her decision begins to show. If you notice this change, the worst thing you can do is ignore it, and the second worst thing you can do is chase it. What matters most in this moment is how you respond with calm, not fear. Because even when a woman pulls away, she is still watching. She is watching to see if you remain grounded or if you collapse emotionally. And that response matters more than the hug itself. Part 6. The last hug before a decision. There is a hug that feels different from all the others. You may not understand it in the moment, but something about it stays heavy in your chest. This is often the last hug before a woman makes a decision. This hug is not cold, and it is not warm in a simple way. It feels emotional. Her arms hold you, but there is a quiet tension inside them. It is as if she is present and distant at the same time. In this hug, she is not only hugging you, she is thinking, she is feeling, she is searching for clarity. Her body is trying to answer a question her mind is afraid to face. She may hold you slightly longer than usual, not because she wants more, but because she is trying to understand what this closeness means to her. She is asking herself, does this still feel right? Does this still feel safe? Is this where I belong? Sometimes she breathes deeply during this hug. Sometimes she becomes very still. These are signs that her emotions are active. She is not relaxed, she is processing. This is the hug where she tries to memorize how you feel, your presence, your energy, your calm, or your tension, because she knows something is about to change one way or another. Many men misread this hug as hope, others misread it as rejection, but it is neither. It is a pause before movement, a moment before a choice. What matters most here is not the hug itself, but how you are inside it. If you are calm, grounded, and emotionally steady, you give her space to feel safe in uncertainty. If you are anxious, needy, or afraid of losing her, she feels that too, and it pushes her toward distance. This hug is quiet, but it is powerful. It is the space where endings and beginnings are both possible, and after this hug, things rarely stay the same. Part 7. How men should respond after a meaningful hug. After a meaningful hug, most men make the same mistake. They rush to understand it with their mind instead of staying calm in their body. They replay the moment, search for signs, and create stories that may not be true. The strongest response is not overthinking. The strongest response is presence. When a hug feels emotional, the best thing a man can do is remain grounded. Do not pull her back. Do not ask for reassurance. Do not change your behavior out of fear. Emotional stability is what a woman feels most clearly after moments like this. If the hug felt close and warm, let it stand on its own. Do not try to turn it into something more immediately. Safety grows when a woman feels she does not have to protect herself from your expectations. If the hug felt distant or heavy, do not panic. Do not chase. Give space without disappearing. Calm consistency communicates strength more than emotional pressure ever could. A woman is always watching how you handle emotional moments, not in a judging way, but in a sensing way. She notices if you become anxious, insecure, or emotionally dependent. She also notices when you stay steady, respectful, and self-contained. Confidence after a hug does not mean acting cold. It means staying the same person. The man she hugged should feel familiar, not suddenly different. If you want to leave an impression, do it through calm energy, not words. A relaxed posture, steady eye contact, and natural behavior speak louder than any explanation. Remember this, a hug opens a door, but it does not demand you walk through it immediately. Rushing creates resistance. Patience creates trust. When a man responds with calm presence instead of emotional urgency, he allows a woman to move toward him naturally, without pressure or fear. And that is the response most women remember. At the end of the day, a hug is never just a hug. It is one of the few moments where a woman's emotions speak without filters, without planning, and without protection. In that brief closeness, her body often tells the truth long before her words ever do. Most men miss this not because they are careless, but because they are taught to listen only to what is said, not to what is felt. But connection does not live in words alone. It lives in presence, in energy, and in how two nervous systems respond to each other. If you learn to notice how a woman hugs you, and more importantly, how that hug changes over time, you will understand more than any text message or conversation could ever explain. You will see where she feels safe, where she hesitates, and where her emotions are quietly growing or slowly pulling back. The goal is not to analyze every hug or turn it into a test. The goal is to stay present, to feel instead of panic, to remain calm instead of chasing meaning. Because the man who feels grounded in these moments becomes someone a woman feels safe opening up to. A woman does not fall for the man who demands answers. She falls for the man who understands her silence, respects her pace, and holds emotional space without pressure. So the next time she hugs you, do not rush your thoughts. Stay still, stay calm, let the moment speak. Because sometimes the most honest truth a woman will ever share with you is said in silence, with her arms around you,